heard a lot of people are wrong. I think you're very enough.
Wednesdays, we got Monday income education. Tuesday, wrestling Tuesdays. Wednesdays,
Alright, I know you needed to go. Do you need the shot? Or are you still going to enjoy? Do you want dessert? You're still thinking it out. You let me know what you need.
Enjoy this, and then what time y'all close?
The time we close, it all depends on business.
I noticed
Technically, we're 10 o'clock, but it all depends on business. How's dinner? Looking good? Which one are you going to do? All right, gentlemen, have a good night. Have a good week. Thank you.
had so much fun in my career. I can't imagine what is out there left that I needed to do.
Styles on the top rope, Styles up and over.
Near the end, knowing I was going to retire, I got weird.
In what way?
I was questioning everything.
Questioning whether it was the right decision?
It's difficult because this is all I've ever known. The only way you get to this point is to be obsessed with it, and I was.
How did you know it was time?
I am older, but I can still go. But that's not the reason to stay in it. At some point, you will embarrass yourself.
Do you miss it? Why not have your last match at WrestleMania this year?
That's not where I started. I know there's people who have WrestleMania as their big PLE, but mine was the Royal Rumble.
Do you think about the legacy you left in this industry?
I don't know. Maybe there isn't one. Maybe I'm not necessarily a WWE guy.
But you were the guy in TNA.
I'll accept that.
John Cena told me that you were the best to ever do it.
For John to say that means a lot to me. In my head, I don't know if that's true.
Of all the championships you won, is there one that stands out the most?
Ooh.
I'm so curious what the original idea was for the match at WrestleMania 36.
I don't know. We didn't get a chance to really talk it over, and we never had to redo it. It makes you wonder what that would have been like if we had been in the ring together.
What do you think makes you one of the best of all time in the ring?
That's a really good question.
AJ Styles, great to see you again.
Yeah, man. Good to be back.
Thank you for making this happen here.
Nope. It's an easy drive for me to Nashville, so I've kind of hit this road a couple times in my career, so it was an easy find for me.
When you said you were going to start training or you were going to come out to see Rusev's school, I was like, this is perfect. We've got to make this happen.
I had no idea that you'd moved to Nashville.
Just moved here.
So, and you're loving it?
It's been the best.
Really?
My kids love it so much.
Good.
Yeah.
Then that's everything.
They have so much space to run around. This feels a lot like where my wife grew up. So and we're a lot closer to home. So yeah, we couldn't be happier.
Where did your wife grow up then?
She grew up in New Jersey, like Sussex County, like northern New Jersey.
Okay.
So this feels very similar.
When people hear New Jersey or New York, they're not familiar with the fact that there's trees and stuff like that.
I know. They think it's just like the interstates, like right there or around like Newark or something.
Yes, exactly.
And I grew up just outside of Toronto, so this feels like half an hour or like an hour away where we'd go to like cottages or something like that. We're loving life here.
Awesome.
You're lucky to be one of those people who grew up in your hometown, you still live there.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's where my family is. And I can't imagine, especially when we had 4 kids moving. There was a time where my wife and I talked about moving to Orlando. And then that's when all the hurricanes came through. So you'll know how far back that was. It was like maybe 05, 04. I'm not sure. But, and we were like, we'll just stay here.
And that was because TNA was based there?
Yes, exactly. And so I didn't have to fly every week to go to TNA. I could just, we lived there. But it was a blessing in disguise because we needed our family, with just having more kids, we needed that help.
You're a family of 6.
No, and it's really cool. Having a big family, it really is, where everybody gets together and we go on vacations together. Like this is our family thing. We get away, we get to the beach and hang out, and it's fun.
So how's retirement treating you?
Oh wow, it's funny because I think I'm gone a little bit more than I was when I was actually working.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but to get the chance to go down to the Performance Center and work with those men and women down there, it's pretty awesome. It scratches that itch, and being involved with Evolve is awesome. I've produced a couple matches, which I didn't think I'd enjoy, but I love it. And I've heard this is how it all starts, is that, you start producing, the next thing you know, you get heavily involved with certain kind of things. But it's really cool to see working with the young talent and the light bulb going off, and they're like, oh wow. And I'm trying to give my moves away, like, hey, try this, try this, try this, try this. I'm not going to use it anymore, kind of thing. I'm having fun.
How long had you been thinking about hanging them up and retiring?
Well, I was going to retire before the Royal Rumble at WrestleMania, but I'd just come back from my foot injury. And it just didn't seem right. Like, I was feeling kind of good, actually, once I got my foot back in order. I was like, man, and there was some kind of like, man, I don't know. And I'm sure money was a thing because I didn't ask for more money. I just wanted to extend it. But then again, they did right by me and paying me well. And so I know that was an issue, but then we finally got that in order, and I was like, all right, here we go. And I'm not saying I didn't get weird near the end of knowing I was going to retire or leave WWE. I got weird, dude.
In what way?
I just was questioning everything. Like everything I was questioning. Like a normal, sane AJ Styles would not question this. It would just be what it is. You know, and even the moment where I found out Gunther was in the Royal Rumble, and I think that it had already been explained that he was in the Royal Rumble and that I got this match, but you know, I was like, what the freak? And I probably I think I made Triple H feel awful about, oh man, I didn't even think about that. When the reality is, nobody thought about it. Nobody did. Nobody cared, even when Gunther came out at the Royal Rumble and got beat, you know. In fact, it should have made more sense that he got beat because he was in the ring with AJ Styles. He got exhausted in that match. Of course, he's not going to win the Royal Rumble. And so I just got weird, man. So my apologies to everyone who I acted that way, and I was just in a weird state of mind.
When you say you're questioning things, are you questioning whether it was the right decision to retire?
Well, there was that going on. I mean, is this it? This is what I do? Like, there were rumors of things. I never really talked to anybody from anywhere else. It just, it was there. It's difficult because this is all I've ever known as far as like I've invested my life into this career, and I think the only way you get to this point where you've reached the heights is you have to be obsessed with it, and I was, and so I dedicated nothing else as far as work goes but to pro wrestling. So I didn't know anything. I can't fix anything. Like I'm the worst. In fact, I end up breaking stuff. So it's just when that's all you know and you don't know what else to do and what is life after, it's very confusing and emotional. It's a lot of different things that I really can't put my finger on, but I know you get weird.
So when we sat down a little over a year ago, you said you would not wrestle into your 50s. So you were already starting to think about retirement.
Yeah.
How did you know it was time to end? Because you don't look like you slowed down at all.
Well, it's the thought of me not being able to be AJ Styles. To throw that 450 in against Gunther one last time to say, yeah, I can still do this. I just don't have to anymore. You know, was me saying, you know, all right, I am older, but I can still go. But that's not the reason to stay in it. You know, at some point you will embarrass yourself if you stay in it long enough. You will embarrass yourself because people will say, wow, that's not the AJ Styles I used to know. Man, that's really bad. And I preface this by saying a lot of people go, well, he slowed down. You know, he did. He wasn't doing what he was doing at TNA. Wrong. I just actually learned psychology, you know, and I'm not saying I was a doofus in TNA, but when psychology comes into play, matches are a lot better when we're doing less. You know,
I mean, I like
so
Riddle, but I mean, I'm more of a
it's just
like lover on everything. Like,
man, I'm thankful for the career I've had, and I at that point, at 48 years old, I made the right decision.
Do you miss it?
I don't miss falling down. I don't miss getting, you know, hurt. I don't miss any of that. But you're always going to miss that part of the excitement that you're about to go to the ring and have a great match. Like you're going to miss that. That's just the high you don't get from anything else. But again, I get to go down to the Performance Center and scratch that itch and just throw myself into helping these performers down at the PC get better. And, you know, I'm sure we'll talk about this. And I get to pour into my son as well.
I think when you said that you were going to have your final match in 2026, nobody expected it to be in January of 2026. Why not push it to WrestleMania? Why not have your last match at WrestleMania this year?
That wasn't my pay-per-view or PLE. That's not where I started. For me to be able to debut and then end it at the Royal Rumble, and I don't care that it was in Saudi Arabia, it's still the Royal Rumble. That meant something to me. That was saying that, you know, I know there's people who have WrestleMania as their big, that's their big PLE, but mine was the Royal Rumble.
And it's like this perfect decade, right? 10 years, exactly.
Yep.
Royal Rumble to Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like it was made to be that way. Like at 10 years, like I did it, probably wasn't supposed to go that long, but found a way to get there. I think it was a good ending.
How did you get to Gunther being your final opponent?
That wasn't up to me. It was up to the story. And he had retired Goldberg. He had retired John Cena. Why not retire AJ Styles?
How much thought did you put into what that finish would look like? Because a month earlier, John Cena went out the same way, but John Cena tapped. You get the sleeper hold put on you, you pass out.
Yeah, but I think the whole thing with our match was that I made him tap out, but you weren't going to make me tap out kind of deal. And I didn't. It went out on my shield. And, I almost had the ropes, but there was the moment there that AJ Styles couldn't hold out any longer. His body had given up on him. His air supply was gone. Passes out.
So take me to before you're about to go out to that match, your final match, the Royal Rumble against Gunther. What's going on behind the curtain?
Thinking about having a great match with Gunther. Not thinking about what was going to happen after it was over. But I'm in the moment. I'm thinking about everything that I need to do when I get out there to make sure it's a great match. That's all I was thinking about.
How about when you came through the curtain after the match?
There was it got emotional because, when I went back in Gorilla, it seemed like most of our roster was there waiting on me. Abyss pulls me in like a big brother, the way he pulled me in, and everybody's just kind of there hugging me and stuff like that. And it was shortly after that when I was done hugging everybody, it freaking really hit me. And I knew it was about to happen, so I had to get away from everybody. And I tried. They had a locker room away from everybody else that I'd found that they were storing luggage in. So I was like, I'll just change it here. It's quiet, it's cold, it's nice. And so I was changing there all by myself with the luggage. And I kind of got back there. I ran in there and I thought I closed the door behind me, but apparently it didn't. It just bounced wide open. I had to stand there for a second and just gather my thoughts and, and shed a couple tears because AJ Styles is no longer wrestling again. That was tough. Yeah, but it was okay. It was okay. I just needed Shane Helms being the first one to come in there, and he knew what was up. I think he's been through that somewhat before, and kind of gave me a hug, and I just needed to get that out, and I needed that hug from Shane, and that was okay. It was it was emotional. I don't know how to explain it any more than that. Like it was just.
Do you feel like you have to grieve it in a certain way?
I feel like
this character that has been AJ Styles for 27 years no longer exists.
I feel like y'all could
I can be AJ Styles, but AJ Styles in the ring is just that's not going to happen. It's gone, and it's a hard pill to swallow. Knowing that you're not going to walk down the aisle anymore. People are going to forget your name.
I don't know about
a lot of things are, but it does.
But you've left such a legacy in pro wrestling. Like, sure, you might not still be doing it, but people will never forget who you are when you did.
Well, we'll see. I feel like we're already kind of heading that direction, and that's okay because they need to move on to the next stars, and they need to build these other stars to be bigger and bigger and better. So I'm okay with that. I've dealt with it. I'm okay with it.
Have you had some moments at home where maybe your bag sits in a certain area and you grab it, every Monday when you're going to head out for Raw? Do you have a moment when you're like, oh, I'm not flying this week?
That was very weird, and like you're trying to figure out. But I think the injuries that I had kind of prepared me for what that looked like. And our schedule wasn't bad at all. So my bag still stays in the same position because I'm leaving going to the Performance Center or wherever they need me to be. So still sits there.
Do you think about the legacy that you've left in this industry? 27 years in, all of the things you've done. What do you think that legacy is?
I don't know. Is that up to me? Or is that up to the fans? Does it bother me? Maybe there isn't one. You know, I think about this all the time. Like, was I even a WWE guy? Yes, I was there, and I participated in WWE.
You held every championship.
Yeah, I did all these great things in 10 years, which is amazing. But you never really see AJ Styles on some of the greatest WWE stars and stuff like that. And I get it. I get it. I was in TNA. I was in New Japan. Like, I get it. Maybe I'm not necessarily a WWE guy.
But you were the guy in TNA. Like,
I'll accept that.
Whenever anybody talks about TNA, it's like you are number one, and then everybody after that. Like that's definitely got to be a big part of your life.
Yeah, of course. That being at the company that you helped, you know, build up a reputation of really great stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'll take that with me. I'll take that legacy. I don't know that I could. The legacy in WWE is not as great as the one in, not because of the wrestling or the guys that I worked with weren't. It was just because of the time of which I was in TNA.
Do you think about your career in different sections? I think like early AJ Styles in TNA is very different from when you're leaving TNA. Then we see a whole other version of you in New Japan, which is kind of like the early beginnings of what we ended up seeing in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, it was really where that end of TNA is where I really found out who AJ Styles was.
And what does that look like?
He's an aggressive. He's exactly what Vince wanted. He was a pit bull. He could go out there and he'd freaking eat guys alive if he wanted to. Like, he's very aggressive, angry at everything. But then I was able to take that and then go to New Japan and have fun with it. And then get to WWE and go, okay, I just combined these two. And this is what you want, Vince. I got it. I got it. And then being able to have so many great matches while I was there was icing on the cake.
Who do you think's the greatest feud you had in WWE?
The greatest feud, I think the one that got the most eyes was me and John Cena.
Beat up John Cena.
But the match that I had with Roman was really freaking good. At no point in that match they go, you can't wrestle Roman, because he was freaking bringing it. He was all about it. He was in it. I'm not saying it's me. We had the opportunity to gel really well together. He was tearing it up, man. It was awesome. So, like, there's a couple guys that I had great matches. I'm kind of sad that I never get to run that back a little bit with Roman. But, you know, and Dean Ambrose and Jericho, got to wrestle all these guys who were high-level names in WWE. So, there's a couple feuds out there that are pretty high on my list. You know, then if we're not talking about WWE, then we can talk about Tanahashi and Okada, and that one match. I wish I had more matches with Shinsuke, but then we had Abyss, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle. Yeah, there a lot of great matches there too.
You ever have one of those moments where hunger hits, but you're exhausted? Like, you know there's something healthy in the fridge, but cooking it feels like way too much effort. That's when I realized eating healthy isn't a willpower problem, it's a setup problem. Then I found Factor. Factor takes the stress out of eating healthy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs, and it's delivered right to your door. No meal planning, no grocery store trips, no cooking, just nutritious, ready-to-eat meals when you need them. Whatever your goals look like, Factor has options to match. From weight loss and balanced nutrition to boosting your protein intake, there's something for you. And I love this. These meals are fresh, never frozen, and with more than 100 rotating menu options each week, Factor keeps things exciting with a variety of dishes. And if you're tired of choosing between convenience and healthy eating, Factor can give you both, and that's why Factor's become a part of my routine. Head to factormeals.com/insight50off and use the code insight50off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only, while supplies last until 9/27/2026. See website for more details.
When I sat down with John Cena, he told me that you were the best to ever do it.
I think he was just on high from our match that we had last.
How do you feel when John Cena says that you are the greatest pro wrestler?
For John to say that after wrestling so many unbelievable professionals in the wrestling business means a lot to me. It really does. I don't know. In my head, I don't know if that's true. But for him to say that, my ego goes up a couple points, I think, for him to say that.
What did you think when you heard him say that?
I was like, oh man, I don't know if that's true, John. but again, I don't know why him and I just, when we got in the ring, every match that we ever had, and I've said this on your podcast before, I believe, we just gelled. I don't know what it was. Our minds were in the same place. Like our timing, everything was so good. So I may have tricked him because we had the same mindset.
I think the general consensus is the match that you had with John Cena was his best match during his retirement tour. So what went into planning that match? What was the idea behind that match?
Well, it was the opportunity to throw back to every guy that we ever wrestled that meant a lot to us. And that's all it was. I mean, we didn't have much of a story, so we had to tell one in the ring. I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to wrestle him. I don't care what anybody says.
And that was a John Cena call?
Maybe. I don't know who called it, but I know that I wasn't in the picture. Something else needed to happen. I don't know what that was, or someone's going to have to tell that story because I don't know. I'm just positive that I wasn't the guy that was supposed to wrestle him.
I love that match came together on Twitter.
Yeah. He kind of called me and let me know, hey, when I say this, you respond, and I'll be okay. I got you. I was like, okay, this is weird, because again, when it comes to WWE, sometimes I'm left out of that you're a WWE guy. And even though me and John had so many great matches, I don't think I was in that story with him.
Was there a move that you did during that match, or he did, that you were like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I've ever done that.
So Fade to Black, that was Frank. It was a shout out to Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah,
and I've never done that move before. And I told John, I was like, man, I don't know if I can do it. And he's like, yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm just gonna tuck my face into your butthole and it'll be fine. I'm like, okay, And we watch it back, and I was like, freak, that's great. Even I think Triple H said something like, I don't know, man. And it turned out to look really good, as far as I know, from what I saw, looked really good. So there were a couple matches. There was a point in there where John, they were chanting 619, 619, because they knew what we were doing at this point.
Yeah.
And he goes, so the ref walks over and he goes, 619. I'm like, me to John? No. John's going to 619 you. John's going to 619 me. All right. And so I sell over there. He gives me the drop toe hold, and I heard him go, stop me before I get to you, and I didn't say anything. He goes, hey, stop me as I go for this. I didn't say anything. Stop me before we gotta go to this. Like he yelled, like, okay. And then he goes, and I clothesline him. And when I joke around, like if John would have tried the 619, it may have turned into the 61. I'm not sure. So that was just kind of funny to me at that time. But for people to understand what we were doing in that match, once they got the gist of it, I thought it was really cool. And to end it with the tombstone that nobody does was pretty freaking cool. Right up to his finisher, I was like, wow, that was fun.
I heard Cena called the entire match in the ring. Is that right?
No, that's wrong.
That is not true.
No, not at all. We'd had something called for the beginning, And as we're about to go walk out of Gorilla, he goes, "Hey, I'm just going to call that beginning." I was like, "Okay, I trust you." That was it. So he called the beginning.
You hit a beautiful Angel's Wings, Christopher Daniels finisher. Man, that's a move you never see in WWE.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think I did it as well as Christopher Daniels, and probably
Who
nobody
does? Come on.
But it was fun to be able to do these moves that I'd never done before. I've never even tried them. I think I may have hit Chris with one of his his own moves, but yeah, it was just really cool doing all of them, and in the sequence in which we done it just made sense. So, and I don't think once we started hitting other people's moves, the can of worms was open. Like they're like, all right, here we go. And I believe the first one was Skull Crushing Finale. I believe that was the first one. I think that John hit on me. I think
it was a beautiful love letter to wrestling.
You know what? When Triple H said that, I was like, man, yeah. That is the perfect way to say it, because that's what we were doing, is basically showing everybody how much these other guys meant to us. That we're going to do their moves to show how cool everything is. All the people that we've ever wrestled. We're going to bring it all together. We're going to do us because we learned from those guys. Yeah, that was a great match.
Was there ever talk earlier on in the year of you having a match with John Cena on his farewell tour?
Nothing. Never a talk of me having a match with John. Listen, I just assume I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Again, sometimes I feel like, even though I've been in WWE for 10 years, I'm not a WWE guy. Sometimes. And that was just one of those times.
But I mean, I'm so glad you were able to have that match. And again, what a beautiful match that was. Did you think about having a retirement tour?
No, not at all. I didn't need one. It was perfectly fine the way I was doing it. In fact, not a lot of people do. And so I saw Cody and John calling their match at WrestleMania, I believe it was.
They had a match at WrestleMania and SummerSlam.
I believe it was WrestleMania, the one that I was supposed to retire at. And I kind of went up to him and I go, "Hey, this is to us in our last WrestleManias." And he's like, "Huh? Oh." And I was like, "Yeah, this is it." And so it was kind of cool to be there for his last run, and John, credit to him, it wasn't about the tour. It was about making money for WWE, and him getting his flowers at the same time.
Yeah.
It was all about that. Everything that he did was to put over WWE. And I don't know if many people realize that.
It reminded me a lot of like Kobe's final year or Derek Jeter's final year, where it's like, all right, they're coming to your stadium, your arena. This is the last time. If you're not here for this,
that's it.
That's it. And that's very much what it felt like with Cena's retirement.
Yeah, and it certainly should have been.
Yeah.
I mean, Cena, he is WWE. Like, he's one of the first guys I think of. So, yeah, he should have gotten everything they got and more.
When we sat down and you said you were thinking about retirement, and if it all came together the way you wanted it to, we'd probably figure it out. We'd probably know what it would look like. Was that, you're talking about leading up to WrestleMania?
I think by that point, I knew it was going past WrestleMania.
Okay.
So, but again, everything had to line up the way it should have, and it did. Like, it was, yeah, it made sense. So I'm happy with the way that went. The fact that I didn't, people were seeing AJ Styles last year, they just didn't know it.
So it was a retirement tour all along. We just didn't know.
Yeah, just didn't know it. I had a tag team run that I was having a lot of fun with. So yeah, it was a good one.
So how did this tag team run with Dragon Lee come together? AJ Lee, as people lovingly called it.
Yeah. They just kind of told me, "Hey, we're thinking about putting you with Dragon Lee." I'm like, "Great. That's great." And so it just kind of one of those things where we kind of worked well together and had fun and made a great tag team out of it.
So the last championship you ever won was a tag team championship with Dragon Lee.
That's right. And as a matter of fact, after we lost the titles, and he's such a great kid, man, so talented, so awesome, everything about him. But after we lost the titles, I went to one of the guys who takes off the plates, because when you win, you have your own plates on there. And I had the P1 plates. I knew that I wasn't winning another championship. And I was like, hey, can I have those plates since you're not going to use them anymore? Like, yeah, let me go see. And they go ask, and they go, and they came back to me and go, here. Wow. They gave me the title.
Oh, wow.
So I have the title with the plates on at home. And I just thought that was a really cool gift to give me, even though I'm not a guy that asks for belts ever. I don't do that. And they were willing to hand that over to me. It was kind of a really cool moment.
Do you have other mementos like that from your career?
So my thing isn't collecting. Now I do have my own plates that were on the heavyweight championship. I have those plates.
Yeah.
And I also have the tag plates that were on there, and I have the belt with it. But I like posters that I've been on. So I collected some of those. And I even got a big poster that they had outside of me and John Cena in Australia.
Oh, wow.
So those are neat to me. Those are really, really cool. But that's all I collected.
When you think back of all the championships you won everywhere, every company all over the world, is there one that stands out for you the most?
Ooh. You don't forget him, right? Like when you won the championship, I believe the first TNA championship that I won was, is it NWA? Maybe it was NWA. But anyway, that championship that associated with TNA, I wrestled Raven, Jeff Jarrett, Vince Russo comes in, hits Jeff with the guitar. That's how I win it. Really cool. Like, you don't forget that. When I was New Japan, they bring me in. Okada is the champion. My first match in New Japan, I win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Super cool. And then in WWE, I beat Dean Ambrose for the WWE Championship. Like, those are huge titles, like, in my opinion. Heaviest was the New Japan. Holy crap, that sucked, carrying that thing around. 3 plates stacked on top of each other was rough carrying that around. But it was an honor. Just like with the TNA and the WWE, it was all an honor to be the champion.
For people who pay attention to like the little details on the actual belts themselves, you came out with a WWE championship with the black swoosh underneath for like 1 week.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
I don't know. They gave it to me because we have championships that we carry with us, and then we have championships that we keep with WWE.
Like the TV title.
They have these boxes that we were okay. Once you're done, you put it in a case, and that's their stuff. For some reason, I don't remember why, I pulled that out, didn't think anything of it, slap it on, boom. I have the black stripe in there. I had no idea. But for WWE fans that are fans of their titles, they're like, "Whoa, what is this?"
Yes.
It was a big deal. Truth is, I had no idea. I didn't know the difference. So I don't know what happened to it. Who knows? Did they ever come out with a black?
I don't think so. And I think you only came out with that once. 1 week?
Yeah.
So this title exists in like lore only.
Apparently so. Who knows what happened to it? Well, but if WWE, if you guys want to give me a title,
that's the one.
I'll take that one because I was the only one to wear it.
Yeah, I feel like that pops up every now and then where it's like, hey, this is like that one-off version.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you don't know the story behind it.
Well, I mean, I didn't know. I just put it on. That's all I know. I don't know. I can't even remember if someone gave it to me. Here, do this one. I don't know how that happened. I just know that I didn't know the difference.
How do you feel like you look at wrestling differently in your 20s, your 30s, and then your 40s?
It's way different. Way different. I watch stuff in my 20s, and I have here recently. And I'm going, what the freak are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. None whatsoever. No psychology. Just moves for the sake of doing moves. Like, this doesn't match this. I had no idea who was the heel or the baby face. I had no idea when you were going home. Like, there were pieces of the puzzle missing. But I was, at that time, basically doing stuff for highlights, I think, and for reactions of people going, whoa, we've never seen that before, kind of things. But when I got into my 30s, now I'm wrestling guys who know what they're doing. with Kurt Angle and Kevin Nash. I was in there with Scott Hall. Like, they know what they're doing. They understand it. And at that time, I'm trying to understand it myself and make sense of everything, and not total, like, I still wanted to do those high flying moves and stuff. But again, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So when I got into my 40s, it was like, I can, but it doesn't make sense to do it there. And like, everybody's doing that. Why do I do it? So I went from probably my late 30s to 40s. If everybody's doing it, I'm not. In fact, I'm going to try to be the complete opposite. If you wet your hair, it's going to be dry. If you dive, I'm not going to. So like, it's little things like me coming up with my sliding knee that I did on the apron. It was different from everybody else's. That's why I didn't want to do a dive. I want to do a forearm over the top rope. So, a lot of people think it was a house show dive or, a plancha. It was a forearm. I don't know. A lot of people know that, but it was to be different than everybody else.
Yeah, what's the story behind coming up with a phenomenal forearm?
As most, I was a big fan of Misawa and Muda. There's little things that I took from them that people probably had no idea. But like simple, like instead of just doing a simple knee drop, I always wondered why a great Muda, his elbow looked so amazingly awesome. Like, it was so cool. What made it look cool? It's just an elbow, but it's the way he did it. So I was like, okay. So when I drop this knee, I'll just kind of move my legs in the air and make it look different, And it was the same thing with a forearm. If Misawa can do it off the second rope, make his forearms a big deal, then I can surely springboard this bad boy and make it look pretty good. And that's how I got it.
And you get high.
Some are better than others, right? Like when they go past the middle of the ring, now I'm stretching, but then as they're closer, now I can jump straight up and make it look even more brutal and stuff like that. But
do you have a favorite one?
I used to come at you like straight. But when I got to WWE, you can't come off, at least I couldn't come off the middle of the ropes because they're just too loose for that part. So I had to come from the closer to the turnbuckle. But when I did that, I couldn't really go straight because they were kind of in the middle of the ring. So I had to jump here kind of sideways. So I started going a little sideways and hitting with the forearm. Where in TNA, you can see me coming straight right at him. Even in New Japan, I was coming right at him. So I had to change it up a little bit based on that, but still got the point across.
I feel like phenomenal in wrestling is like synonymous with you. When did that happen?
Like the name phenomenal?
Yes.
Dan the Dragon Wilson, who was a commentator in Wildside. For some reason, I don't really know why, just kind of said, he's phenomenal, he's the phenomenal AJ Styles. And it stuck. Like it was, from then on, I was the phenomenal AJ Styles. And it was so different at the time. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I'm thankful for it. I was like, there's going to be a time where it's going to be hard to be phenomenal, but it was really cool. I'm so thankful that he called me that and it stuck.
My friends and I would use it to describe things. So like, if we saw a movie we like, we'd be like, oh, that movie was AJ Styles.
Oh yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. I like that.
How's that beer? AJ Styles. Just phenomenal. I love that it's become that.
Well, I don't know that everybody think. I have heard people say, "Oh, that was phenomenal." I go, whoa! You owe me a nickel. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I would love for everybody to say that's AJ Styles.
We'll get back to the episode in just a second, but you ever have those days where everything just seems to be clicking? You slept well, you worked out, you ate well, you're feeling good. And then you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror or on a video call and you're like, man, I look exhausted. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a combination of a bunch of different things, but I can tell you it's helped me. It's this, the Great from Caldera Lab. What I like about it is how simple it is. No complicated skincare routine, no lineup of products. It's just one product that I use in the morning and then again before bed. It takes just a few seconds. And honestly, the biggest difference is that my skin looks more like how I feel. I feel great, it looks great. I look healthier, I look more refreshed, even on days when life gets busy. You've heard me talk about Caldera Lab before, but if there's one product that I've been using consistently, it's the Great. It's the one product I find myself reaching for day after day. And if you want to look and feel like the best version of yourself, and if you're looking for just one simple product that actually makes a difference, it's the Great. Go to calderalab.com/Chris and use the code Chris for 20% off your first order. That's calderalab.com/Chris.
So with the benefit of the hindsight you have now looking back on your career and how you viewed things in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, what's the wisdom you're imparting when you're at the PC or you're here at Catch and you're working with young and up-and-coming wrestlers?
That I have learned about coaching, because there's so much I want to show you. But if I show you all these things, you're only going to remember one or two. So it's going over the 1, 2, maybe 3 things, and let's go over it. And I'm going to explain why it's being done, the counters to this, and where to put it. Some things don't belong in other places. They just don't. So in explaining all this, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much to learn in wrestling that I've taken for granted that's in here that I need to teach, but you can't teach it all at once, so they'll not remember anything. They'll not retain a thing. So that's really hard trying to figure that out. What moves are going to stay and repetition.
So is it honing the things they're already doing and being like, hey, actually, if you did it a little bit like this, it would look better or make more sense?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that. And explain why I take it this way or why I do it this way.
I love that why is the thing that every veteran comes back to. Why are we doing this?
I mean, it really, if you can explain it to them, the why, it'll make sense in where you put it. You know, again, we're not doing things because we can. They have to make sense in where we put them, or your match is going to be all over the place. So just being able to work down the PC and give ideas and stuff like that, I'm having a great time. And even, you know, coaching my son, he may be the worst at yeah buts. But it's because...
In what way?
Well, hey, I want to do this, Dad. And I go, yeah, you don't need that there. But Dad, dude, you know, he wants to be like his dad. And I was like, you have to be you. You have to be you. You can do stuff that I have done before, and that makes sense why you should at some point, but that's not who you are. You have to be Avery Styles. You have to be different. And, you know, and I get it. I'm his dad. I get it. I'm his dad. So he has to, he feels like he can, I don't know, give me the yeah buts more than anybody else.
Sure.
So there was a point, and I go, hey, look, if you're not going to listen to me, then have someone else train you. But in saying that, after seeing his debut match, so proud of him. Like
it was incredible.
He did so well. I mean, if you could see my first match and his first match, holy moly, he's not day better than me.
Heavy, thick accent.
But
what do you need?
I didn't have a guy coaching me that done all the things that I have done. So, but there's little things that you can't coach, like time, not rushing. It's a thing. It's a young disease that most wrestlers have. They rush through everything. But if we can figure out how to slow them down, that's the magic right there.
Have you seen the photo of him doing the phenomenal forearm next to the photo of you doing it?
Oh yeah. It's really, really cool, dude.
Identical.
Yeah, he did extremely well. And he's got another match coming up. I believe it's this Saturday. So I'm stoked to see what he's got in store.
Well, with his dad doing some stuff at the WWE Performance Center, it feels like maybe he'll have a tryout at some point soon.
Well, I hope that he does at some point, but he's not ready yet. My job is to make him ready and teach him the little things that we want to see as coaches. And, you know, I mean, there's been plenty of guys that even myself have went for tryouts, and they say, hey, we don't care about the high flying moves. We just want to see what you can do. And I had no idea what they were talking about. And now being that guy, I get it. It's the little things in between that we want to see that if you do it well. And that's the hardest things to learn, is the in between.
Do you think he feels the pressure of being AJ Styles' son?
He's told me, and I get it. And I said, listen, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do. And he's like, yeah, but I said, I want to say, I didn't do it. I didn't have to, yeah, but your dad wasn't AJ Styles. I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. So it's finding out what's best for him at the time and where he's at. Because it's like, take the things that we know and let's perfect them so that we can move on after perfection. Like, I don't want you to make a 70. I want you to make a 90 and above on this test. And every match is a test to see where you're at.
How old is he?
19.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, he's
going to be incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not even a man yet. I know 19 you seem like, but if you've had kids, you do, but older kids. Even I remember myself, I was slim and trim until I got at about 25. I was like, going to start putting weight on, like good muscle weight. So he's going to get to that point, and by that time, hopefully, he's had 6 years of experience and he's rocking and rolling.
So after you had your final match against Gunther, you got to say goodbye in your hometown. You got to say goodbye in Atlanta. What did that moment, what did that speech mean for you?
Oh, you know what? Me and my buddy Ryder, Chad, I'm just going to say his name because I love him. We're going over it, and he goes, this sounds like a Hall of Fame speech. And I go, yeah, kind of does. He goes, yeah, why don't we just do something different?
But I'm saying, like,
and I don't know if he knew at that time, or maybe he did, that The Undertaker was coming out. So it was one of those I just kind of spoke from the heart rather than from a piece of paper that somebody wrote for me. And I think that people saw that. They could see it.
But, sometimes they're going to need a tag in.
And then, of course, Undertaker comes out.
What were you thinking when you heard that gong?
Well, they said the Undertaker was coming out. I assumed we're going to shake hands and be like, hey, congratulations, on your retirement. Thank you, kind of thing. That's what I thought was happening. And then he comes in there talking about, I don't even know what he was talking. I just know it sounded like we were going to wrestle again. Like, I know we're not wrestling. Like, I know we're not doing that. So what are you talking about? And and I think, I don't remember exact words, but there was a moment I go, oh. And I looked at my wife and like, what he's, then we kind of got the idea of the Hall of Fame and being inducted, which was really cool. And a total surprise because I had no idea.
When you didn't put your gloves in the ring at the Royal Rumble, I think people were confused. They were like, what's going on? I thought if you lost this match, you had to retire, but we also know how wrestling retirements work. Was the plan the whole time to just be able to do it in Georgia?
We had talked about being able to, I knew in like 3 weeks, I think, or 4 weeks, that they were coming to, Raw was coming to Atlanta. I was like, man, that'd be a great place to really drop them right there.
Yeah.
And it was a great moment for me to take off the jacket and lay the gloves down and be done. I know a lot of guys leave their boots, but my whole thing was my gloves. And I think they got the idea once the gloves were laid down.
Have you thought about that Hall of Fame speech?
Yeah, I thought about it a lot, actually. And again, it turned out to be one of those things. Chad, my rider again, my buddy, we just go, well, this is, I'm just going to write out like cliff notes.
Yeah.
Because we didn't write the thing down. And just kind of
speak from the heart.
Speak from the heart.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. And in that speech, I wanted to clump a lot of people together because there's a lot of people I needed to thank. But you're always going to leave somebody else, out, And so I didn't want that. I didn't want feelings to get hurt. I just clumped them all together. And for the most part, I was thinking about the people sitting that had worked that night on SmackDown. And that had worked all day doing signings and whatever they had to do. Like, I was thinking about them. And so I wanted to speak to them, hopefully, a little bit to the fans, but I definitely wanted to speak to my peers who I meant it. And I told them, I was like, if I ever told you I loved you, I meant it, dude. Like, I just want you guys to know how much I care about you. And so, remember looking at my watch and go, I might break a record here.
For the shortest speech?
shortest speech ever. But, and then I of course thanked him, and I remember looking at John, and he goes, wow, but so many of them, the wrestlers came up to me and said, man, that was a great speech. It didn't matter that it wasn't forever long. It touched them, I think, I hope.
Okay, if I drop this,
and I think it was a grand total of 8 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
But
did they give you a length of time to work with him?
Never said anything to me.
Wow.
Okay.
And you know what? It happened exactly the way it was supposed to. Stephanie's was amazing. Like, of course, like, she was a big part of WWE. And so hers should have been exactly the way it was. It was really, really good. I think she spent a lot of time on that one, making it perfect. It was so good. And so there was no competing with that. But, then me going out there, being last, big deal to me, but also taking into consideration what everybody had done that day. I just tried to make it heartfelt.
You got a beautiful send-off from John Cena before the last match that you had. He wrote out that custom intro for you.
Oh, wow, yeah.
At what point did you realize what was happening?
Oh, I'm stretching. I had no idea what was going on. I knew none of this. And I'm stretching, and I can't the words, but the definition of TNA was, I think that's how, I can't remember, but a TNA, I'm like, wait a minute. Are they talking about me? And then so I took a step back, and they said more, and I looked at John, I go, and then they said Bullet Club, the Ace of Bullet Club. I go, whoa, we weren't supposed to say that, really cool moment. Really cool moment. He took the time to make me feel like I was a star, not just AJ Styles, but there's AJ and John Cena in the ring at the same time, and I'm just as big a star as he is.
So that man's gonna be with his family.
No, for real.
Man, it kind of makes your heart melt when you think about it. Like, this guy thought so much of me that he wanted to make sure it was special to me too.
That was such a cool moment.
Really cool.
And I feel like as soon as that intro started, the fans started to realize, oh, I see what's going on here.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, that was so cool. The crowds, I feel like, have been so good to you, especially over the last year or two. That crowd in France, unbelievable.
The first time that was over, I wrestled Cody. I'm easily the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. But they started chanting the Phenomenal song, not mine. I'm sure it's a soccer song. And man, they didn't want to stop. They were shaking the camera, the hard camera. They were shaking it. They were jumping up and down. It was unbelievable.
Man, I'm getting goosebumps as you're talking about it.
And I'm trying not to smile because I'm the bad guy. I'm the mean bad guy.
Did you know what they were saying? But you knew it was like directed at you.
Yeah. Well, the day before, we went out on the stage and we got to do our things and beef up the match a little bit. And they started chanting it. And I said, you guys are disrespectful, because I didn't know what they were saying. And then someone said, no, it's not that at all. They're saying you're phenomenal. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh man, that's pretty freaking cool. So of course, when they did it, when I was in the ring with Cody, I was just like, wow, they just went on for way too long, right? Like they wait, but then I went back and I was wrestling Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. And Dominic was supposed to come out during break, but because they wouldn't stop singing Phenomenal, they waited till we came back for commercial break. That's easily 3 minutes that they were singing this song. They just let them sing the whole commercial break. And so waited till, Dom came out, and then so that's how long it was. It's pretty awesome.
I think what's so amazing is they all get in unison like that.
They get a lot of practice from soccer. I think that's where this comes from. And so it's not like they hadn't done it before. That's what I think. And so thank God, I had the moniker Phenomenal, so it was a really, really cool moment.
That moment at Backlash might be one of the all-time great crowd interaction moments.
Oh, and that's when we started trying to measure. All right, UK, you see what France did,
Yeah.
or I forget where we were next, but no, didn't quite do France, because it wasn't just Bonnie and Cody's match they were into. They were in every match.
Oh yeah.
They were so happy to be a part of the show. They made it even better.
How did it make you feel? Like you're going out there as the heel, and you got arguably the biggest reaction of the night.
I didn't quite understand it. Again, I'm thankful for probably a soccer song that got me over, because I don't know how much of AJ Styles they've watched in the past. Did they know anything about me? Did they care? Was it just the Phenomenal that they wanted to sing? Because again, I am the bad guy. Have done nothing nice but been super mean to Cody. Just absolute babyface. So I was like, all right, freak, man. I don't know. I don't really know what to do. I'll just not smile. I'll just try to act tough in here. Chew my gum like it was going out of business because I had no idea what to do next.
When we sat down before, you told me you never wanted to hear Ready to Fly ever again.
Yeah.
So when you came back to TNA, it felt like they couldn't play any song but that.
Yeah. So me saying I never want to hear it again. And then as soon as I come out to TNA, all these videos started coming
of
up.
That clip.
Of that clip,
Yeah.
me and you talking. So I don't know. I think maybe it's a nostalgia thing. Even I at the moment, I go like, oh, freak it, it's kind of cool. I had to go back. It took me back. But it's the way they reacted in TNA. They were singing the song. So not every day that you get them singing your song. So I was happy about that.
Well, I think when TNA and WWE started working together, people started seeing the possibility here.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see AJ Styles in TNA one more time. So how did that appearance in TNA come together?
Well, I think that TNA just asked, he doesn't have to wrestle. We just wanted to come out there and have a moment with Leon Slater. I think the youngest X Division champion in
Yes,
TNA
and
history.
tied now for the longest reign of the X Division
wow.
Championship. Yes.
Who had, any idea who had the longest?
So him and Austin Aries are tied.
Okay.
He lost the title on the night he could have broken it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Always happens that way. But, man, it was a really cool moment just seeing Leon jumping around the ring, with me coming down. I thought, dude, that's
what
cool.
an endorsement, right?
Yeah.
The guy that people think of when they think of TNA, you, and for him, the guy who could easily be the future of TNA, together in the ring. That's really cool to see.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a moment. And him and I are, big brother, little brother, he's a really cool dude. I tried to give some words of wisdom. It wasn't all just for take pictures, that we had a chat. And so many things that his peers said about him were all good. Nothing bad. In fact, they were like, this guy, he's different. Like he's great. Not only is they bragged about how good of a person he was more than the wrestler.
Oh, that says something.
That says a lot about him.
Yeah. Was there ever a possibility of having a match in TNA?
I don't think there was ever a possibility of me having a match in TNA. And I think I know why. Because once I did that appearance with Leon, where Chelsea Green come up to me and said, "Oh, I would love to go back there and have a match." I go, "Oh, that's why I'll never have a match over there." Because once you open that door, it's open now, and people are going to want to do it. So I knew after talking to Chelsea, and she wasn't saying anything bad. Just the idea of being able to wrestle there would be great again.
Yeah.
I knew that it'd never happen.